Welcome back, everyone. Today we'll be taking a look at this year's San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, the Vintage Collection Book of Boba Fett Krrsantan. If you're new to the channel, enjoyed this video, or simply a fan of Star Wars collecting, be sure to drop a like on this video and remember to subscribe. So, as you guys can see, I have this year's San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and it is this Vintage Collection Krrsantan, which is basically a super deluxe figure, if you will, and it also had that kind of price point with it as well. But, usually these San Diego Comic-Con exclusives are a bit more pricey, and, they sell you on the experience of the packaging. I gotta say, I would have been very happy to see this Krrsantan with plenty of accessories just thrown in a box. Even as a designer, I'm never really blown away by the presentation of opening up these, Comic-Con exclusives. But regardless, he's pretty cool. Very happy to get him. Love the angry expression. Love extra accessories. And all in all, very happy to get this one in the collection. So let's take a closer look at the packaging, figure, and put him in a diorama setting. This year's San Diego Comic-Con exclusive comes in a decent sized box that is larger than the standard deluxe packaging that we are used to seeing in the Vintage Collection. On the front of the box, we have an image of the figure in a Tatooine setting, the Book of Boba Fett logo, and the name Krrsantan using an aggressive comic-style typeface. In the bottom corner, we have a classic yellow sunburst highlighting the figure with some additional accessories and the Kenner logo in the bottom right corner. On the back, we have the same image with a similar layout, the Vintage Collection logo, and an image of all the contents in this exclusive set. The sides of the box have 3 different toy photography panels displaying the figure engaged with each of the different world-building accessories included in this release. Pieces of circular tape are used to hold the box together, and once they are sliced, the outer layer can be removed, showing the interior packaging and design. The art is taken from both Krrsantan's live action and comic book appearances, which is nice to see and looks rather wonderful in my opinion. Once the interior packaging is unfolded, a series of gold-colored chambers reveal the figure and a number of accessories that are included. Each of these are held in place with plastic bands or wrapped in tissue paper, which can be found in the top left corner. And taking a look at Krrsantan out of the packaging, I've got to say that this is a remarkable figure. Hasbro has done a wonderful job with the sculpting and just all the detail on Krrsantan. I really like the paint applications. It's a really, really phenomenal looking figure. Additionally, I cannot get enough of this gold detailing. It's made of a silver plastic for this bandolier, and it will not hinder his movement whatsoever, which is great to see. And it's got a bit of a wash to it, so it's not, too bright, but at the same time, those metallics are really shining, so that's wonderful. He's also got some exceptional detailing on this thing, so all in all, very, very good work. As you can see here, he's got those soft plastic braids that won't, really hinder too much of his movement. But the only thing is, he doesn't have too much going on when it comes to this ball joint. I would have liked to see a little bit more, so, he can maybe tilt his head backwards, if he's doing kind of like a football running, charge type of pose. But it's not going to, totally take away from the figure, but that's something that could have been nice to see. Taking a look at the back, he's got more of those soft plastic braids back here, and you can see a little bit more detailing as well. You can also see that he's got the gold belt, which matches his bandolier, and it's just covered by a little bit of that abdominal sculpting fur. He's got a crunch, so he'll be able to move around. It's got good stuff going on. Once again, we got ball jointed everything when it comes to these new Vintage Collection figures, as well as the new style hips, which are great. He's also got the swivel at the thigh, which is going to allow him to do some really nice poses, especially because he has rocker ankles. So all in all, Krrsantan's looking really good. I will say that he's got hinges on his hands, but you can't engage them too well because of the fur that's sculpted there. But I did notice, since they're removable, if you take it off and engage like that, and then kind of put it back in, it goes in, and you're able to pose him maybe with his rifle. It just doesn't go in all the way, so if you were to want to snap it in very securely, you would have to straighten it out. But that's not too bad. I'm happy that it kind of stays in and you can actually use that hinge, so that's very nice. And taking a closer look at his facial expression, Hasbro did a remarkable job on this angry portrait. He looks like he's really, really pretty angry and not a happy Wookie. So very cool to get this variant in this release. You know, the deluxe one's pretty good, but who wouldn't prefer the angry Krrsantan, you know? So definitely very happy to have this one in the collection. And taking a look at all the weapons and accessories Krrsantan comes with, here is the blaster that you see prominently in the Book of Boba Fett. It looks really nice, and it's got some great silver detailing on the barrel, which looks, you know, fantastic. You've also got this tiny little button detail here in red, which is cool. The end of the barrel definitely has a little bit more of a darker color to it, which is pretty cool. And you can see the scope here is very finely detailed as well. Taking a look at the other side, there's not much going on in terms of buttons and stuff like that, but it's got all the same detailing, and this is just a really nice sculpt, and I like how this is done. You know, he'll be able to hold this, and all in all, a great weapon that we get with our Krrsantan. And taking a look at the next weapon, we have our standard Wookie bowcaster. Definitely a nice one to see included with Krrsantan, since he uses this in a lot of the different comics. The only thing I will say is that it would have been nice to see some of the gold detailing on this weapon that you do see in the comics, but maybe that's something I'll add myself, I don't know. But all in all, this is the standard bow rifle that you see with many, many Chewbacca releases. But once again, cool to get it. I will say I've never been a big fan of this like rifle sling. It's quite too large, so maybe that's another thing I'll go ahead and modify for my own collection. But it is cool that you have, you know, some ability to put this on Krrsantan and he can, like, you know, have it on his back. So there's pluses and minuses to that, but nice to have it. And next up we have this weapon, which is shaped like a rifle, but Krrsantan uses it more like an electric baton when he goes up against Obi-Wan in the comics. So definitely a cool one to get, because who wouldn't want to recreate a battle between Krrsantan and Obi-Wan? Which, you know, Hasbro, if you're listening, we do need an updated Obi-Wan. Just saying. So, all in all, cool one to get. It's got this nice little soft plastic electro, like, you know, shock thing that we've been getting with lots of our accessories. And it's cool that you can, you know, take it on and off. Taking a closer look at the weapon, it's got some really cool detailing on it. It's got this blue marking, you know, kind of showing the energy section of the end of this weapon. And, yeah, it looks great when you put the plastic electricity stuff on it. But yeah, really cool one to get. Like I said, really looking forward to recreating that scene with Krrsantan against Obi-Wan. And then we have the pair of blades, which is really cool to get as well. These are, you know, prominent when Krrsantan is in the gladiator ring. And, you know, again, if you want to recreate some scenes of him, you know, battling in the ring, this is a great accessory to have. Definitely would have been cool to see in live action, you know, just like big sharp knives like this. But all in all, very happy to get these as well. They're very nice, shiny silver. And, you know, it's got a nice detail on the bottom with like some gold. Would have been cool to see a little bit more, you know, maybe weathering or detail, something to accent these. But very, very cool accessory to have as well. And then we have the mug and Mei-Lu run. Pretty cool accessories. These come with the standard deluxe release that's coming. Definitely happy to have an extra mug. And I'm also very happy to have this Mei-Lu run. Very cool. First see these kind of like in Rebels. And it's nice that, you know, they brought that into live action. Definitely just a nice accessory to get. I'll probably put a couple of these extra ones in my town somewhere. And probably put one of these extra mugs in a cantina or something. But here you can see inside, it's not super deep in there, but all in all, a cool release and definitely something that I want to have Krrsantan displayed with. And then we have one of the pairs of extra hands that come with this set. We have punching fists, which are really cool because, you know, you're going to want to put those plastic electricity things on his knuckle dusters and really knock some transitions out. Here you can see we can put that on pretty easily. Just kind of slips on like that, and there you go. You got some electric effects for Krrsantan to really knock out some transitions. So pretty cool. Very happy that we're seeing more extra hands in the vintage collection. If you take a look here, these have hinges on them. So like I demonstrated earlier, you can, you know, engage that hinge and kind of get like a different angle for his fist and just like how he's like punching. So in addition to the hands that come with Krrsantan and the extra pair of punching hands, you have these like open grip hands, which are specifically for holding like the Meilu run, since it's a little bit of a larger and round accessory, and for him to grip his like mug when he drinks spotchka or whatever he's getting drunk on. So pretty cool that Hasbro was like, let's put some more hands in there and kind of give you your dollar value, which is always nice, and I'm always here for more accessories and extra hands. Krrsantan was this year's SWTVC March Madness winner and was certainly a must-have figure for many fans within the community. This large and in-charge Wookie was very popular due to his comic book appearances, and then instantly became a must for our collections during the Book of Boba Fett. Once again, Hasbro shows us how impressive 375 figures can truly be, with this all new from the ground up work of art. Krrsantan naturally has all the articulation that can allow this figure to live up to his reputation. Ball-jointed everything, new style barbell hips, swivels at the thigh, hinges at the wrist, and rocker ankles will enable Santo to achieve a number of action poses. I've got to say that posing this figure was very enjoyable, and I'm continuously impressed with the level of sculpting and engineering that Hasbro can deliver. Not only can Krrsantan pose like a true gladiator champion, but he can also hold all the weapons properly and engage with each of the accessories naturally and with ease. This is a big plus when it comes to displaying a figure in one's collection. While the price of this year's San Diego Comic-Con exclusive is higher than one would prefer, I really appreciate all the weapons that were included and the angry portrait, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. With that being said, let's put this gladiator to the test and set him up in an action setting.